We begin with the chaos in the Capitol in Washington, D.C., where the House adjourned again without a speaker for the second day in a row. So far, Republican Kevin McCarthy has failed to win the speakership on 6 separate votes. Joe Khalil joins us live from Washington, D.C. with everything that we're learning. And Joe, the House is due back at noon Eastern, but we don't know if we're just going to see another repeat of what we've seen the past 2 days.
We very well could, Mitch. That is the bottom line, is that right now we're in day 3 with no functioning Congress because we don't have a speaker. That means that we can't swear in a House. So here we are again in this sort of same situation before. Here's what I can tell you that I've been speaking to my sources last night. Kevin McCarthy, some of his allies, actually left the Capitol yesterday feeling much more confident than they did at the beginning of the day. Now, I want to be very clear. That does not mean that he has the votes. Far from it. Right now, it's still uncertain that he'll ever have enough votes to actually become Speaker. But what does it mean that they're feeling more confident? Well, we reported yesterday that a lot of Kevin McCarthy's allies were trying to work those 20 or so Republicans that have been voting against him, trying to see what it is that they want. What is it going to take to get them to support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker? Well, it became pretty clear yesterday, Mitch, as you mentioned, that was not working after 3 failed rounds of voting. But they took a couple of hours break and they continued to negotiate. And last night, members of Chip Roy's camp, he's one of the Republicans that have been voting against McCarthy, met with some of his allies, met with McCarthy, and whatever happened in those meetings, it appeared clear that after that, McCarthy's allies feel like they are now closer to maybe picking off some of those who had been against him, possibly putting them back into his camp. Now, the question becomes, how many? Because remember, McCarthy's got a math problem right now. He can only afford to lose 4 Republican votes, and there are about 20 voting against him. So is he going to have enough support from that group today? We don't know, and we don't know if he will ever have enough support from that group. So that is where the dilemma lies for Kevin McCarthy, and it is still a problem for him, even though today, again, it appears heading into today, they feel like they're at least making some progress. So that is certainly an important thing, at least, to mention. We should also say, some Republicans and a lot of Democrats, including President Biden, have said they feel that this is an embarrassment that Congress can't come together. You heard from some Republicans yesterday who took the floor saying, look, this is democracy. It is messy, and it is supposed to work like this. This is a feature of democracy, not a bug. We should mention, though, there is a risk generally when it comes to not having a Congress. God forbid, there's a terrorist attack or a natural disaster, some kind of national emergency. Congress needs to mobilize to respond, whether it's funding or resources, what have you, Mitch. Right now, if that were to happen, Congress is stuck. We don't have a functioning House, and that wouldn't happen. So that is the real life risk as this thing continues to drag on.
Some would say we haven't had a functioning House for more than a decade, Joe, but that's where opinion outstrips fact. So that's live from D.C. That's Joe Khalil. Joe, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.